Every single day, Mumbai's restaurants and urban centers generate an overwhelming mountain of food waste. As these vast piles of organic matter sit in landfills and rot, they release enormous amounts of methane gas directly into the atmosphere. Meanwhile, just a few hundred miles away, in rural agricultural zones, you find the opposite extreme. Here, fields are plagued by severe drought, and the soil is completely dead. Farmers in these regions desperately need to restore their land, but the high price of synthetic chemical fertilizers makes recovery a financial impossibility. These are parallel economic failures. It is a massive misallocation of resources, where one area is drowning in the exact organic material the other needs to survive. Caught right in the middle of these two crises was Ravi. He had fled his own dying rural farm, arriving in the chaos of Mumbai carrying nothing but a backpack. Sleeping on the porches of city shops, he had a front-row seat to the sheer volume of this urban excess. Ravi realized that while these restaurants were paying hauling fees to bury tons of organic matter, his neighbors back home were taking on debt to buy those same nutrients in a chemical bag. Determined to bridge this gap, Ravi started spending his days reading public library books, teaching himself the biochemistry required to break down the city's food waste. He quickly learned that traditional composting methods wouldn't work. They were too slow and required too much manual labor to handle waste on an industrial scale. The solution was vermicomposting, using specialized earthworms to rapidly accelerate the breakdown of organic matter into nutrient-rich fertilizer. But while biology provided a great engine, worms are living creatures. On their own, they are too unpredictable to scale into a reliable, nationwide supply chain. To solve this, he built GreenGrid. Looking at this schematic, you can see how he integrated cheap digital sensors directly into the vermicomposting bins. These sensors continuously monitor temperature and moisture levels, allowing a smartphone app to automatically adjust water and heat inputs. This creates the ideal environment for the worms at all times. He then added an overarching software layer to coordinate waste pickups from urban sources, ensuring a steady feed of raw material into these automated biological factories. By combining basic biology with accessible digital hardware, GreenGrid inverted the traditional supply chain. Instead of extracting from the land, the system moved valuable nutrients from the city directly back to the farm. It took 3 years of iterative testing to move from a pilot bin to a city-wide operation. But by focusing on the high-volume waste of luxury hotels, GreenGrid grew to manage the output of hundreds of properties across Mumbai. The resulting eco-friendly fertilizer was systematically distributed to rural farms across the nation, effectively restoring soil health and increasing crop yields. The business case was strong enough that a major tech giant eventually purchased a minority stake in the company. The valuation of that stake turned the boy who once slept on shop porches into a millionaire. He created immense economic value without inventing a single new physical resource. He simply redefined trash into a highly valuable raw material. Instead of adopting the lifestyle typical of a new millionaire, Ravi took a bus ride away from the modern skyline, back to his rural hometown. He used his wealth to fully fund and construct a modern agricultural school right in his village. The most effective innovations often don't require inventing something entirely new. Sometimes it's simply about building a logistical grid that connects our existing problems until they cancel each other out.